Hello, researchers, and welcome back. Okay, this is the moment you all have been waiting for to see if pre and post tests have a statistically significant difference. I know that is what you have been wanting to be able to do. Okay, wait, let me turn on this light. And that's what we're going to learn in this lesson that was adapted from chapter 10 in the field book. Um, on comparing two means. We're talking about the related samples t-test. So, remember our Cloaks of Invisibility from a popular young adult novel series? Okay, so let's say we have 12 participants. Let's say that they're third graders. Okay, are invisible people mischievous? Is our research question. And we're doing another experiment. In this case, we, as before, we're placing participants in an enclosed community riddled with hidden cameras. Maybe it's a classroom, maybe it's a school, maybe. Um, and during the first week, they don't have an invisibility cloak, okay? Our students, our third graders do not have an invisibility cloak. During the second week, they do have an invisibility cloak, okay? And our cameras are able to see through the invisibility cloaks, and we're able to measure, we go back, we look at all the videos, measure how many mischievous acts participants performed each week. Okay. For this to test this and to see if we can make inferences to the population of third graders, we need the dependent t-test. And again, in the bad old days, I would have had you calculate the difference and then the mean of the difference and divide that by the standard deviation of the difference, which would be divided by the square root of n. I'm not going to make you do those calculations because we live in the 21st century and we're going to use an app. The app we're going to use is SPSS Statistics. Okay, and what we're doing is the paired samples or related measures or matched samples t-test. Okay, so as before, I open up D2L. I go to our class, which is, I know is here. I'm going to go into the content for our class for this week. And I'm going to we're doing the related samples t-tests. I need this data file. So I'm going to click on the little arrow next to it and click download. It's going to put it in my, I clicked down there and it's just opening up right away. But you could open up the folder and find the data file and then double click on it in order to open it up, or you can open up SPSS and then search for the file. So invisibility related measures.sav, okay? And the first thing I always need are some descriptive statistics. Analyze descriptive statistics. Hello. Here we go. Frequencies. Let me get frequencies on, let me show you this. Hold on, let me show you this. Let me go to this is the variable view, right? Let's go to the data view. I want to show you what's in this file because it's a little bit different from last time. Last time we had 24 kids. Some got the cloak, some didn't have the cloak. This time we have 12 kids, this is the week when they had no cloak. For the first column shows the week when they had no cloak. The second column is the week when they had the cloak. Okay? If this were a real data set, I would expect that there would be some variable, some ID variable would be the first column. Okay? Maybe it would have their names in it. Maybe it would have other information, their gender, for example. Okay, but this is a practice data set. So we just have two variables, two columns. Okay, no cloak and cloak. All right, so we're going to go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies. I want to know mischief with no cloak. And mischief with cloak. I want some statistics on those. In particular, I want to know the standard deviation and the mean. Okay. And continue. I would like a frequency table just so I can see if there are any gaps. In terms of charts, I would like a histogram, please. Continue. Okay. All right. Oh, we got a warning up there. Okay. I don't think that's going to matter. I hope not. Okay. So, get our statistics first. We see that there was no missing data in this data set. We see that the mean for when the mean amount of the mean number of mischievous acts when the kids didn't have their invisibility cloak was 3.75, and the standard deviation was 1.9, about 1.9. For when they did have their invisibility cloaks, the mean number of mischievous acts was 5, and the standard deviation was about 1.7 or 1.65. This just shows the frequency, okay? And I just wanted to look this over. And this same information is going to be shown down here on my histogram. Okay. All right. So, from this histogram, would you say this is normally distributed or not normally distributed? I would say it's not normally distributed. It doesn't look symmetric to me. So we don't get that bell shape. And it seems like, kind of some scores trailing off to the left. All right. Okay, so let's go back up. And a similar thing is represented in this data here. Oh, wait, this is the no invisibility cloak condition. Okay. Here's the invisibility cloak condition. It gave us two frequency graphs, two histograms. Okay, how about this? Is this normal or not normal? Normally distributed or not normally distributed? This is pretty normally distributed. Yes, it is peaky or cortotic, but I would say it is symmetric. It is symmetric and more or less mound-shaped. So yes, pretty normally distributed. There's not, and it's a small data set, only 12 students. Okay. So there we have looked at our measure of central tendency and our measure of variability, as well as looked at the distribution of both of our variables. All right, or pre and post. That's interesting. Oh, okay. This bar goes up to 4. Okay. So you see our mode here is 4. whereas our mode here is 3. Interesting. Okay, what time is it? Okay, let me turn off my alarm here. Okay, let's go back to our slides. So, how to do the paired sample t-test. And I'll slide over so you can see me. And we're going to, similar to before, go to comparing means in SPSS. So let me slide this down so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go to Analyze, Compare Means, Paired Samples t-test. Then I get this box pops up. And pretest is Mischief. There's only one set of pairs, right? Right. Pretest is no invisibility cloak, excuse me. Post-test is invisibility cloak. Can I move this over? Yep. I think that's it. Options. Exclude cases list-wise. Continue. Why does it have that? Okay. See if this worked. And here's my output. Okay, it's showing, first we're getting some statistics, okay? Interesting. It's showing us the mean for each of the conditions in this paired sample, the number of students in each of those conditions, the standard deviation, okay, and also the standard error of the mean. It is also showing us something called the correlation, which we're going to learn about. And then finally down here, it's showing us the outcome of the test. So the mean, the standard deviation, the standard error, the confidence interval of the difference. We found that the mean difference is minus 1.25. Okay? So the that's 3.75 minus 5, minus 1.25. The statistic or t-value associated with that difference is minus 3.804 with 11 degrees of freedom and a p-value of 0.003. So let's go back to our slides. All right. So the correlation, yeah, we saw that already. Okay, this is the information we're really looking at. Let me grab a circle. And no fill. Okay, see what I'm talking about? The t-value, the degrees of freedom, and the p-value associated with that t-value. Okay. Effect size again, which we're not going to worry about. Here's how I would report what we just found out. On average, when the third graders in our study were given a cloak of invisibility, they engaged in more acts of mischief. Mean of 5, standard deviation of 1.65. than when they did not have such a cloak, mean of 3.75, standard deviation of 1.91. This difference of minus 1.25x was statistically significant. T, degrees of freedom 11, equals minus 3.80, P equal to 0.003. We conclude that if students are invisible, they will be more mischievous than if they are able to be seen on average in the population of third graders. Okay? A couple of things I want to point out. In the first sentence, we're saying on average, and we're talking about the students in our sample. These are the actual means that we measured, okay, in our sample, in our little experiment. Then, using the t-statistic, we were able to make a conclusion about the population of third graders. Okay, so our last sentence is about the population. All right. With quantitative research, you do not have to be creative in how you report the results of your tests. They're reported in a pretty standardized way. Okay, so you can use this language as a frame as you are reporting your results of paired sample t-tests in the future. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.